There we go. Here we go. Sorry for those who tuned in on the other stream. That was the wrong feed. It wasn't supposed to go there, so that's why that one stopped. So we can share this one and shut that off. Yeah, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. The struggle continues, man. Got a lot of things to talk about. Yo, I did not think fucking Rand and Colt would go fucking live, dude. So that kind of just like fucking spoiled the whole fucking thing. But here I am thinking I got the fucking night to myself after BG done finished up his spill. So it may be a slow night compared to the next some weeks. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing this weekly or daily. Well, obviously not daily because in the next 2 days is Thanksgiving. To all those who be watching playing Xbox, there's no show tomorrow because I gotta travel to Connecticut, see film and whatnot. So we're gonna give you guys a break from that. But am I trying to bite BG? No. I ain't gonna lie. I do think BG and Press Start Kofi, it did inspire me to do these. But remember guys, I've actually done this in the past. Now it would be emergency damage control live streams that I need to do, like the incident after Bond. I did a video live stream. The Uncharted, when I did the whole Uncharted challenge and I lost that challenge, I did a whole video live stream. Those weren't videos, they were just a web live stream. I didn't have a name for them. I just didn't continually do it. It was just for like emergency damage controls. So whereas this is just like, I get to just really say what I say on Twitter just right here with you guys. But there's some things that come through my mind I just want to talk about that's not really appropriate for podcasts, or maybe a podcast that I'm on or a podcast I'm hosting. And but I feel like this is a platform where I can just really let freaking loose. So shout out to the few of you who've joined in and tuning in. Hit that like button and share this thing to Twitter, because you know Twitter really helps. And if you like it, then your follower might like it. They might watch. They might click on, and you might enjoy this. You know what I mean? Yeah, you see that NBA Live in the background. By the way, PlayStation's Black Friday deals kind of really suck right now, but I did manage to pick up NBA Live on PlayStation for $15. I already own it on Xbox, but I need to jump in there. I need to expand, buy a multi-plat on the Pro, you know what I mean? But shout out to Active Messiah and Mr. Whittaker, Eric Empire. Let's get this thing started. So I got a couple things I want to talk about. We're about to close out the year. I am finna take the crown for most games beaten this year out of the whole Weapon Wheel panel, so that feels good. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna break 40, so we're good on that. I got a lot going on. So the first thing I want to talk about, and the reason why I wanted to do this, because I shouldn't give the BestBot theory any subtitles, because I feel like I'm going to be all over the place, and I may need you guys' help to keep my ass on track. Hell, my internet might even go out because this router fucking sucks. So, but let's start with this. I want to start with the whole Bond versus Hard8 situation, right? Now, it's not as livid as previous situations like Bond versus Jack Move, or Jack Move versus Hard8, or and whatnot, and so many battles that going on. But this whole thing concerning EA and their loot crate practices with Battlefront 2, Bond has been on this boycott thing. He's been fighting this battle, like he's been spearheading this thing and trying to get as many people as involved as possible. I think it started with Shadow of War, and then once the Battlefront shit happened, Bond just took it and ran. Now that more people got wind of it, more people has been outspoken. You got the dude John Layman from Digital Foundry boycotting it. It's affecting reviews, and Disney, forcing EA to change it up. It's putting EA really in a lot of mess, and now we're hearing that the sales is down. So Bond feels like he has a win on his hands. So Bond is in a mode where, okay, the microtransactions being removed from the game is not enough. They need to flop. The sales being down is not enough. That's still not enough. Hard8's to the point where he feels, oh shit, I joined a cause. Our cause had an impact. They got rid of the problem. I really want to play the game now, right? So Hard8 is ready to get back in, get back to business. Bond feels offended by him doing that because he feel like, no, don't do it, because they're going to just add the shit back in. They're doing this shit now to pick up sales, and they're still going to screw you in the end. And Hard8's logic is, well, if their parent company, pretty much the title holders to the Star Wars franchise, Disney, is threatening to pull the end of partnership with EA because of this practice, you think with that on the line that they're going to just reintroduce the shit and fuck that shit up after we buy it? He's like, he doesn't believe that. He doesn't buy it. I'm buying the fucking game. And Bond is very, very, very persistent. He doesn't stop. When the bullshit, when everybody's done, Bond doesn't fucking stop. He will drive it to you. He'll try to make you feel bad for the decisions you're making. Try to compare you to a rape victim or a homophobe or a homosexual if you are participating in something that he's totally against. And Hardy's the type of person to be like, who the hell you think you're talking to? I ain't this person. I ain't that person. I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. And that's why this shit it's so really amusing. And I just sit back and watch this shit. I think it's freaking enormous. I said enormous. I think it's interesting, hilarious. But whose side are you on in this case? It's not just really just a Bond versus Hard8 thing. It's kind of a position where you had Hard8 who was looking forward to the game of Star Wars Battlefront 2 all year, right? You had Black Bond, I don't think, who had any amounts of interest in Battlefront at all, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. But Bond is standing for a cause. Hard8 was like, man, they fucked up. I can't support the game. I ain't going to do it until they fix it. They fix it. Now Hard8 can join the cause. So it's like, have any of you guys decided to hold off on your Battlefront 2 purchase due to these microtransactions or the loot crates, and then did you buy it after when they took out that option? Did you buy it after the fix? Did you buy it before the fix? Or are you still waiting to see what more happens? Me personally, I'm waiting for that shit to hit a Black Friday deal. I'm actually about to check the store now. I'm waiting for that to hit it has to hit a significant Black Friday. If I can get it for 40, 35, I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't plan on the campaign short, or I can. The thing is, I'm still supporting EA because I'm paying for EA Access. I'm not gonna cancel that in my NBA Live and shit and all that for that. But the thing is, as an EA Access holder, I could just hold out completely and wait for it to hit the vault. But what did you guys do? I'm gonna just look at the comments here. I hear Active Messiah say they didn't really fix it, is a temporary fix. And that's what some of us aren't buying. Because if the reason for the urgent fixing or the urgent temporary fix was due to Disney threatening to pull the deal, why would you fuck it up? I don't think it's smart. Now, by them doing this, it probably did fuck up the scope of the game, because the game's multiplayer was probably solely designed around the loot crates and the microtransactions. So now that is just a fuck up. Now without it, you're just working your ass off for nothing. They probably have to implement like quadruple XP weekends for like 6 months just to get the game playing like it needs to play, so people can earn shit at a normal rate. You know, because the game was solely based around these loot crates and these microtransactions and these heroes and whatnot. So it's interesting to see how it turns out, you know. And I think by them doing it this way and trying to make it a pay to win, which is it's kind of fucked up. I mean, if you're gonna make it a pay to win, make it a free to play game. I think the first Star Wars Battlefront was extremely casual. I enjoyed it because I was a beast at it. But I think this one, I guess it added. I don't know if it's more competitive or just more cheap, or cheap competitive. But it's fortunately and unfortunately, it has a big impact. And you had other games that has been eased into our games for a while, like Halo. I ain't gonna lie, like Halo's been Halo 5, all that, those rec packs and all that shit was all this. But the thing about Halo's situation, it was centered around one particular mode, and that mode I fucking completely ignored. I played maybe like 2 matches and used up all the cards they gave me for free, but I was like, I'm not interested in this mode. Bring on Slayer, where none of that shit actually matters. It doesn't impact any of the standard classic Halo modes. It was all for that big ass Warzone mode that they were hoping takes off and could be its own pretty much phenomenon. And I don't know how it's doing because this is not a mode I played, but they did make a big deal about those rec packs. Gears of War do it with those damn cards that you get, but a lot of the shit with Gears of War is like more of like earning double XP and earning like costumes and shit and stuff like that. I don't really care about that. I just want to do as good as I can and rank up as much as I possibly can. But there's nothing about Gears of War that makes me feel entitled to buy something to improve my stance on its online multiplayer. I'm trying to see what else games that I know that like really took advantage of it, but didn't really get the same backlash. Now EA is just like full throttle, just like fuck it. We've been pushing it in some of our games here and there, but nah, this is Battlefront. We know y'all jumping on this shit, so we gonna give it to you full throttle, no lube. That's how they went with that. So, and woo! Is that breaking news? Did Super Lucky Cell really outsell Knack 2 and Gravity Rush 2? Really? Can somebody send me a link? And then somebody also just sent a link from PC Mags. But yeah, EA also always tried to find a way to implement like some sort of microtransactions in its games. It all started, I'm not going to say it started, but it was very prevalent in the sports games. Remember when I think Madden was the only sports game that had like this ultimate team type bullshit, really? And they introduced like where you can buy cards and to increase your chances of getting a good player or a platinum player or a gold player and whatnot. And you take that team online to beat others. I think it only really was with Madden with Mutt. And then they started to introduce it into FIFA. They introduced it into hockey, and they're introducing it in with Live's Ultimate Team and whatnot. And they have Live. They got plenty of options to throw in some fuckery in there. They have the room, they have the modes to do it, but right now they've only been limited to Ultimate Team, which is whatever. I don't fuck with Ultimate Team anyway. And of course, Need for Speed. I don't know what the fuck you can do in Need for Speed that makes you want to pay fucking money, like real money, to do what? I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's fucking, I don't know. I don't know why they do it, but they got a bunch of cards in there too. But it's crazy because some games get criticized for this stuff, and while others don't. Like, Rockstar can make a complete $60 game right now, multiplayer only, and it be full of pay to win mechanics, practices, and it will not get a lick of criticism. I can guarantee it. I think there's only a handful of publishers and developers that can get away with this and make you say thank you. That's what I feel like they're doing with GTA. They can make you say thank you. Thank you. This is awesome. You know? But yeah, right now this is a problem, and it does show you a direction that a lot of our publishers were going with our games and how they expect to live off of them. Yeah, we think they're doing us a favor because they was like, you know what? We're not going to do DLC. We're not going to do paid DLC anymore. We're not going to make you pay season passes. We're not going to split up the community. We care about the community. We really want you guys to play together. So we're going to give you that for free. But You want to become better? Oh, well, that's gonna cost you. It's like, okay, it's a trade-off. We don't want to increase the price of games, so we are gonna just make our game shorter, not release all content. So now we're gonna release the game in pieces, in seasons. So they tried that. So that's why season passes were a thing. Now with certain games like multiplayer, and especially if you're doing a multiplayer only type scenario, well, we're splitting up the community, because when people buy maps, they can't play with people who do own them. So it's like, okay, well, let's sweeten the deal. Now we got to find a way to get money out of these games that people already bought. Let me tell you, there was an interview that I think Weapon Will had. We had on. It was with the dudes that did Rocket League, right? When they were explaining this shit, Rocket League right now, it's not a game. It's a job. Somebody be like, you going to work? Where you work at? Rocket League. There's people are working like 9 to 5s right now just with content and supporting Rocket League. It's like games now are to the point where they're games as a service. Pretty much, we build a game, we're building our business, and we're going to try to make this game last as long as possible, because making a game and selling it for $60, $50, $60, and selling it to about, if I'm lucky, 3 million people is not enough to put food on the table. I need that same game to make me pretty much what 20 million copies of one game would sell, but I need that to continually to happen. So that's how I really see things going, and it's crazy because on the down part is like, how are those games going to be funded? How are these games going to have longevity? And the only way they're going to do that is by introducing ways to keep us paying for these games for a longer period of time. So I'm not sure, man. It's insane. But as far as just to get back to the Hard8 Bond situation, I was with Bond for the fight, but at the end of the day, if the problem is fixed or solved, why not get it now that you're satisfied with the product? So, but I know Bond, he wants EA to flop, he wants sales to tank, he wants the game to be damn near free before anybody decides to support the booty crates. The booty crates. All right, so before I go on, I'm gonna take a quick brief to the comments. Why do I keep seeing Super Lucky's tell? Hashtag fix FIFA. And all right, so here's another thing, right? There is I was playing Assassin's Creed, and I kind of wanted to have a conversation about Assassin's Creed, but I don't know how you guys are, how comfortable you guys with when it comes to fucking spoilers. And I don't know how many of you guys beat the game, or how many of you guys even fucking care. But I have my own really, I guess, opinion and thoughts on a game. Really loved the game, but I had mixed reactions on like the story and what they put you through. And for the game to end the way it did, it just kind of, I can't talk about it without really spoiling it. And hopefully we'll get to a point where we could talk about games and fucking spoil them, and it won't be a war, you know? I mean, I don't like want to be able to talk about fucking games that where spoiling is not a problem. But playing Assassin's Creed, it did, I found myself in a weird situation, right? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Assassin's Creed Origins introduced some very, very attractive video game characters. Now, I think one of the characters is based off of, I think, a real person, if I'm not mistaken. But and it had me thinking, where's my freaking let me go grab this. It had me thinking. And I wanted to ask you guys, and I know some of you guys got these your guilty pleasures, and I know some of you guys are going to mention somebody on this game cover. Who are your, I guess, who do you, is there any video game character that you found yourself really found very attractive? Like, wow, if this character was real, like I'd be really interested, like very interested, right? A lot of people have the hots for like Nadine and Chloe. I think it's Chloe. Nadine and Chloe. I thought Nadine was just too much. Nadine's has a, I guess, a pretty face, but no, I don't think Nadine would be sexually attractive to me. I know this shit sounds funny. It's a fucking game, but at the end of the day, they want to make you feel like they want to make a motion picture out of these games nowadays. You should be able to judge them. I mean, what the fuck? Why not? You know? So like for instance, like Nadine, like I said, pretty face, just I think just too manly. Like if I see Nadine in person, like, oh, that's a good looking athlete. That's how I would look at her. But fucking the characters introduced in Assassin's Creed Origins, it was Cleopatra, who I think is a real person, and Aya. That's Bayek's wife, right? That's not really a spoiler. Like, but a lot of the characters in Assassin's Creed, even like the woman in the game, there's a lot of copy and paste type bullshit, and everybody looked at basic and bald in the game, with the exception of Cleopatra and fucking Aya. Most beautiful woman I've seen in the video game in a while that I actually paid a fucking attention to. I mean, there's that chick from Gears 4 that's beast, but like I said, there's some factors that would just like, she's alright. Skilled, if you're in this chat, I don't think you're blocked, dude. Unless you're blocked on Twitter. Nah, you're not blocked. Yeah, so but I just want to be real. Please be real. Stop acting like you've never saw a character in a video game that you didn't find attractive. And if you're going to sit there and pretend that you didn't, you're fucking lying. It's okay, man. It's the fucking internet. You're not the only weird motherfucker in this chat. You know what I mean? I mean, you walking in New York, for every 10 people you walk by, about 9 of them are weird as fuck. So, but explain to me. I want to see. Drop some fucking names. Like, I knew people would say Nadine and Chloe. I don't think they're that attractive at all. Fat Princess. There was, who else? I have to look at who else that I thought in a video game that, like Laura, new generation Laura. Only if Laura had a body, but she that's the only thing she's missing. She has a amazing accent and pretty face. She just doesn't have the body. And I know people were like gloating over Nathan Drake's wife. I don't know why. I mean, she blushes a lot and she has no ass. I don't understand that, but people are interested. This shit is not weird. It is fucking real, and you guys can't cope with reality when real sets in. I'm like, yeah, maybe he's saying something, you know? But it's real. Come on, tell me. You guys acting like you play games. It's as much as immersive if they try to put in these games and you try to get emotional. You telling me you will cry over a fucking video game? You'll cry when a character died, but you're ashamed to say that a video game character looked good? Like, really? Come on, you'll cry before you acknowledge that video game character looks good. Really? What level did you get in order to beat the game? In Assassin's Creed, I think the recommended level is probably 40. I beat Assassin's Creed Origins at a level 34. I think, yeah, because I didn't hit a level 35 until after I killed the last person I was supposed to kill to close out the story. So I did that at level 34. It's possible to do at a level 34. But I think the recommended is level 40. To at least complete the game, it's at least a level 40 because there's like some side missions that's higher than what the last mission and shit would require. Yeah. Oh, I knew somebody was gonna say. Somebody just said, "I'll drink Aloy's bathwater." Aloy seemed very fucking dense to me. Aloy was the type of character that I felt like if you took her out on a date, she'd just fucking stare at you with nothing interesting to say. She'll listen to you, but her reactions wouldn't have any emotion. She won't giggle. She won't laugh. Damn, she won't even nod even if she agrees with you. So it would be a weird situation being out on a date with Aloy because it feel like you're talking to a brick wall. Who responds back? It's like Aloy, I feel like reminds me of like Alexa or Google Home. Like it's like forced emotion if you can get it out of them, right? Except she's in a human form or a body form. Like Aloy was dull as hell, and I don't know. I've never found. I'm sorry. Please don't. Hey. Don't hate. Hey, there's no discrimination. I'm just not attracted to white women with dreadlocks. I just don't see the fucking point. Like, what the fuck? Dreadlocks, cornrows. It's just, what the fuck? It's just, I didn't understand it. That would turn me off. Like, Aloy does look good in her little Horizon world and shit, and in that Indian gear that they make her wear, that, not the Indian gear, the Native American gear that they, that she's wearing. But she has dreadlocks. And if I seen that shit in real like life, like I'm walking down a fucking street and I see like a white woman with dreadlocks, I'm thinking like, damn, she smokes a lot of pot. She's a hippo. She's probably homeless. You know, that's the shit that I'm thinking about. I'm not like thinking, oh damn, that fucking woman, that white woman with dreads is fucking very attractive. You know, she doesn't say much. She looks, she stares, she asks questions. Shit, Aloy. If any of you guys played Horizon, right? Horizon Zero Dawn. What I got from Aloy was that Aloy was a person who wasn't very interested in men. You know how many men tried to hit up on Aloy in a game? They tried to hit on like, yo, they were like passive aggressive comments. Shit. They probably won't put that in Horizon 2 because that would be sexual harassment. Shit. The way they were doing those passive aggressive like flirting shit, they would say something and her reaction would just be like, yeah. But then one of them fucking other fucking tribal girls come in and they spill a little game. Aloy showed emotion. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit had me feeling some type of fucking weird. That shit had me feeling some type of way. And this is not racist. This is what the where does racism or race come into play when talking about a video game character? But yeah, but Aloy, I never found Aloy that attractive. I mean, she's a beast, you know what I mean? But I did not find her attractive in the game, you know what I mean? I felt like she was very, you know, persistent, strong-willed, but she had qualities that just didn't make sense, you know? Yeah, she just had qualities that really didn't make sense, you know? It was like she was supposed to be like, it was like she was supposed to be black, but she was supposed to be Indian, but she wasn't. So they just gave her the traits of like the people that she was supposed to represent, and it just didn't come out right. And then she had no fucking personality whatsoever. Like literally dull as fuck. Really dull. Shiva. Oh my god, is Shiva that is Shiva the one from where is Shiva from? I'm thinking it's that game. Who's the girl that I'm still looking at the game to play a Hellblade? That chick. She looked sick. And I know this shit is going to go back to something like real, like, oh, you can't be making fun of her because she represents real people. And I probably understand that, but fucking that girl from Hellblade just looks fucking sick in the fucking head. I'd be scared if I seen some shit like that too. And don't she got dreadlocks? So what the fuck is up with you giving these random women dreadlocks? What the hell? No, Shiva from anybody from Mortal Kombat. There's nobody. I don't think there's any woman in Mortal Kombat that is attractive. If you got shit flying from your arms and head and shit like that, you're not attractive. Somebody said something. There was a name that popped up in here that I completely forgot about. Damn, dude. Shit, how did I miss that? Fuck. I missed that. Laura Croft. Yeah, we talked about Laura Croft. Yeah, Sasuna. It says that she's from Hellblade. Yeah, fucking crazy. Cameo was nah. Cameo, yeah, she reminded me of a child. So there was nothing there for her. I was trying to think about some prominent Xbox characters. Ellie, would I smash Ellie now? Hell no. You know what the thing about Ellie? I've seen gamers talk about Ellie in a like sexual manner, like oh, she's attractive, she's this and that there, and this was before I knew what the fuck The Last of Us was, right? And I'm thinking we haven't seen Ellie grown until this year. This year was the first year we saw Ellie grown. So this whole time you guys were talking about a fucking, how old is Ellie in The Last of Us? Fucking 13, 12? You guys are that's weird. That's where you need to get checked in the fucking head. That's fucking weird. Ellie in Last of Us 1 was not something I would have been looking at. And Ellie now, especially now, as brolic as she fucking is, like Ellie. I'm sorry, Ellie looks like in the new upcoming The Last of Us. It looks like a man going through a sex change. And about to turn that final corner, to take that final step, just need to tone the body down and shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ellie. There's nothing they can do with Ellie after they show that. There's nothing they can do with Ellie to make Ellie an attractive figure or a sex symbol for a game. And I don't think Naughty Dog is trying to do that. Which brings me to one of the other topics I wanted to talk about, guys. Another topic we need to talk about. Ellie's 19 now? Well, damn. Oh, shit. At 19, I look like a piece of bacon. Ellie's looking like a full-grown steak. Yo, yeah, so, somebody said Orchard. Yeah, Orchard. You know, Orchard's dope. You know who's, I think it's like all the girls from Dead or Alive. I like Cammy from Street Fighter. Is like it's borderline porn what they put her in the games, like and like, you know what I mean? It's like just borderline porn. But let's talk about something, right? We're in a new day and age where, you know, we're all like with social media, and lately today we've been in a cycle for a while now that seems like where it's been more. Hold up, Skilled HD. Are you blocked on Twitter? What's your Twitter? Why did I block you on Twitter? Did you say something that is block worthy? I'm gonna look for you, and I'm going to unblock you. Yes. Oh, you're blocked. Unblock. All right, you're unblocked. Skilled HD. You're unblocked. All right. That new trailer wasn't Ellie, so that wasn't Ellie that day. That was hanging off that shit. That had to be. All right, so let's talk about something, right? Let's talk about something. This is gonna open a whole bunch of fucking can of worms. But we're adults here, right? And I know some of us are kids, so if you are under the age where you can't partake in a simple fucking conversation or discussion, you might want to back out, all right? So let's talk about SJW's impact on video games and why I think developers, publishers need to leave like this whole social awareness and shit alone. Stay away from it. Stay away from politics. Stay away from religion. Stay away from groups. Don't, because when you do that, I feel like when developers do that, they're pretty much when you put this when you're putting shit like that in a game, whether it be shit on like social injustices and or anything relative to what's going on today and all the fake bullshit they got us going through. When you put the stuff in the game, you're obviously going to be putting some, or you're going to be going with the side, because there's nothing that's going to be neutral in a game. Because when you put things in games, it's like you're going on with an agenda, and what you're doing is pretty much in your game telling us where you stand and where you want us to stand in that video game. And that's why I think developers, publishers, video games should just stay far away from the shit. Video games is where we're supposed to go to get away from the bullshit. It should stay far away from the bullshit, like completely far away from the bullshit. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is where I'm gonna sound fucked up. I'm gonna sound really fucked up. In about a year, don't be surprised if the main protagonists in our video games are women with big dicks bigger than Lex Steel. Don't be surprised if majority of our video games suddenly where we have to start caring about same-sex relations and relationships and shit like that, identity crisis and shit like that. Don't be surprised. No, and you guys saying pause, and I said that because what happens is when you let that, and here's the thing: there's a lot of when people try to satisfy like groups of people, like there's like this fake and I'm calling it fake because since when has there been a war on fucking women? It's like this fake like thing that's, I feel like women just now has a problem with men, or men supposedly just have a problem with women. Women are not getting enough, or they're being heavily mistreated for some reason. Like, how? When? I love fucking see that I was about to say I love fucking women, but not to that nature. I mean, who doesn't love women? Like, what the hell? So when did this shit all occur? So what happens is what you're gonna start seeing is like, somebody's gonna start like this movement, or if they haven't started it, there's not enough women protagonists. All right, so we gotta make women protagonists, and I don't mind playing as a woman. Tomb Raider is the shit. Horizon Zero Dawn, the shit. I am Setsuna, even though she's crazy as fuck. I'm pretty sure it's the shit. I'm trying to go buy it right now. You got the women version of Uncharted. I mean, it's the shit. But soon, it's not just going to be women protagonists. We're gonna have to play is gay protagonists. We're gonna have to play as transsexual protagonists. We're gonna have to play as hell. They're trying to put black protagonists in the game, but it's not quite working well because at some point they'll make they're like, you're like, Kratos is probably the whitest black guy I've ever fucking seen. But this is the shit that I think about. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like these agendas get so pushed out. It's not only in our fucking TV shows where, all right, instead of just watching like your typical family bullshit, we're gonna have sitcoms on how on transsexuals, sitcoms on like gay couples and stuff. And I don't have a problem with it or anything like that. Sure, let it air. I ain't gonna watch. I don't care to watch it. If it's good, I may watch it. Who knows? I used to watch that show Queer as Folk on HBO. It used to come out some years back, but I feel like on video games, it's just like, why does it have to be here? Like, why? It's like in video games, I feel like this is where I start to not mind. I don't care if games are multiplayer only or some shit like that. Because I start asking myself on video games, why do I fucking care who this person's like with, or what this person's love interest is, or who their love interests are? Like, why should I fucking care? I just want to give me this fucking gun in this game. Let me shoot whoever I never need to shoot and bring me to the next area or the next world or the next level. I don't care about the extra bullshit. Why? You know what I mean? I don't want, like, it's shit like that that just drives me nuts, and I know it's coming. It's going to happen. Like I said, some people have a problem with playing as manly women, like, or women kicking. And it's crazy when there's usually a woman protagonist. Now, somebody's going to correct me because I'm probably wrong, but usually in the big games where the woman's the main protagonist, the antagonist is a man. Like, I mean, why? I get it. You want to show prowess in women, but why can't the antagonist be another fucking woman? Like, I mean, we can't, like, fucking bust a cap in a fucking woman. I'd like to beat other women's ass with a woman protagonist, but usually in most cases the antagonist is a man, and that's typically how this goes and whatnot. And it's I see it coming. I see how it is. And then even in Uncharted 4, like, where even though Nadine was the bad person, she was the antagonist, not the main antagonist, but she was with the antagonist, they made sure she beat your fucking ass. They made sure you couldn't even hit. It was like when they do the fight sequence, they made sure that the fight sequence was just so you're just interacting. You're gonna swing, she's gonna block, and there's nothing you can do about it. She's gonna kick your ass. It fits in with the script. They made sure that she whipped your fucking ass. And not only did they make sure she whipped your fucking ass, they made sure she whipped your ass. I think she whipped your ass twice in the game. It makes an appearance unharmed, unscratched, and she pretty much is the winner of Uncharted fucking 4. If you didn't play, she's the winner. She win. She only had like a couple main parts, but she's the winner of Uncharted 4. Nadine, right? But sometimes I wonder, where do you guys see games going? Like, these story-driven games, because this is what's going to happen. I mean, in multiplayer games and these mobile shooters, you can do whatever you want to the character. They ain't really got to tell you who these characters are. You know what I mean? But some people will invest and try to give these characters a backstory. But where do you think these games are going? These story-driven games, and where they really put you, like, and Sony, props up to the Sony's team for, you know, putting women up front and giving them a spot, because this year in fucking video games and great video games, the women were the main protagonists, and they were actually good games. I enjoyed Horizon. I enjoyed Uncharted Lost Legacy. Hellblade is being received very, very well, but and like I said, I know there's people who don't really give a damn about, they'd rather be a man, and this is why you got to make RPGs and shit like that, because, or games where you're in control of the character, you make the character and you bring them on its own journey. Because I feel like soon people are going to be put in situations where they're going to be interesting, they're going to be getting these video games, and they're going to be put in compromising situations where they're going to be participating in activities they don't want to participate in. It's already happening with Wolfenstein. Some people feel like it was too overly, like, I guess, aggressive in its nature to promote that, you know, white Nazis and whatnot, and some people really think it's an attack on white people, but I don't know yet. I didn't touch the game yet. I installed it, but if you look at the reviews, go look at the reviews on, like, the Xbox store, the Windows store, I think the Steam reviews, the user reviews. Don't look at the actual journal. Look at the user reviews, and there's people, they are fucking going off on the game for its political views, and you don't want to be in a position like that, you know? I mean, it's just not fucking necessary. But I feel like, I'll tell you a compromising position I was in. I was playing Life is Strange. Both of them. Actually, this one, I feel like it's about to throw me into some fucking lesbian romance shit. The first one, I felt like the game was trying to force me to make me kiss, it was Chloe and, Max. I felt like the game was trying to make me as Max kiss Chloe. It's like they kept putting me in a position, hey, we want you to hit that option, kiss, and I always declined it, and I didn't give a fuck of the consequences. Like, I don't want to I don't want to see these fucking two high schoolers fucking kiss. It's like, what the fuck? Like, who do they think is playing this? And it's like, no. I want her to date the kid that likes her. You know, the boy that likes her. But that's what they would. That's what I felt like. That was a compromising position I was in a video game so far. That was one of the compromising positions I felt like where because they can get away with this type of shit in those type of Telltale games where everything is based on choice and shit. Life is Strange. I remember being put in that position and I'm like, it was like kiss Max or ignore it. Kiss Chloe or ignore or look away or some shit like that. I was like, look away. I wasn't falling for that bullshit, but shit happened. So, Life is Strange. Yeah, I know there's a Chloe in Uncharted, and there's a Chloe or a Chloe in Life is Strange. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. So, D Almighty Spartan God, you said women have more of a story to tell than men. That's the reason. Really? Are you saying like historically, or so you're telling me it's easier to make a story based around a woman than it is a man? If that's the case, Peach would have her own game, and she would be rescuing Mario. But that's neither here nor there. But I don't think it matters whether male or female. I don't think anybody has a better story to tell. Because nowadays, I mean, shit, you can do a game. I don't think playing as a woman is any better than playing as a man, especially the type of game that you're playing, you know? I feel like if the story isn't really fucking exaggerated. I mean, there's games like I mean they're done well, but I don't see a situation where I can agree that you can tell better stories about a woman than a male. If you think about it, hell, fucking in all these video games, if that's the case, all these video games where the girls are the antagonists, none of these girls, I mean, give me a game where one of these girls get pregnant and you have to deliver a fucking baby, you know? Like they got their tubes tied in this fucking game because they're fucking extremely fucking fit. But let's keep it going. And I knew the conversation, the topic would turn some people away, but it is what it is, you know? Grand Gross asks, when am I going to beat Frozen Wilds? I'm probably going to dive into the Frozen Wilds after I get over the hype of the Xbox One X. After I realize, okay, this game looks good. It looks good. Okay. I can start playing games for what they are instead of being mesmerized by the upgrades on my Xbox One. So I plan on jumping into Horizon. Now that Assassin's Creed done, I don't want to play another game that's similar. I'm gonna play through like the story DLC of Mafia 3, and I'm probably gonna go through one of the platforming games I got. I'm gonna try to get through Knack 2 and Super Lucky's Tale, and I'll probably start the Frozen Wilds probably in January or something like that. But this is it. I am not a Republican. I don't identify with any of these parties. I'm no longer for the two-party system. By default, I grew up as a Democrat because, if believe it or not, most, if not all, black people in urban areas and low income areas, most of us came up identifying as Democrats because we somehow was able to believe that that's the party for us. And I'm not for the two-party system. I don't claim as anything. I don't give a fuck party. That's the party I'm with. So I am trans. What the fuck is what is transpolitical? Am I getting Metal Gear Survive? I want it. I kind of want it. The thing is, the problem is when people are like, oh, the Democrats aren't good, but they're better than the Republicans. You're falling for the trap that any of these motherfuckers are actually great. None of them are actually good. They both do things. They both do the same fucked up shit in different ways. It's just different. The thing is Republicans do shit, right? That it, like, I want to say the middle class people ain't really fucking with, but the upper class people is really fucking with. And then it's all to get the same shit across. Democrats do the same shit, but they present a image for the middle class and the minorities to be for, and present an image for the upper class or the white collared, people to be against. But at the end of the day, we all getting fucked, and we're just looking at it from a different viewpoint. So can you really think of anything that any of them actually really, really did for you, for us? I feel like the more it's stupid. It's like if I you guys get me way off the motherfucking shit I want to talk about. Yeah, these are Democrats fuck you behind your back. Yeah. Democrats fuck you in the back. Republicans fuck you in your face. That's how I see it. They're both fucking horrible. The two-party system is horrible. My actual game of the year, honestly, would be my actual game of the year. So far in 2017, the favorite games I've played has been Assassin's Creed Origins, Horizon Zero Dawn, Cuphead. Those have been my 3 favorite games. I like Uncharted too, but I wouldn't consider it game of the year. The Uncharted Lost Legacy. PUBG actually needs to get game of the year. And I'm not saying need because I want to. I just want to see how people are going to react. Because this is more, even though there's maybe one of the Nintendo games, maybe Horizon deserves game of the year for the fact that because of the studio that made it and what they were able, from the games that they made in the past versus the game that Horizon is and what they were able to do and how such of a hit it became. They probably deserve it most. Nintendo probably has earned it with one of their games. I'm on cam. Am I hungry? Am I almost done? Yeah, I should be done soon. Nintendo probably has earned it, and I think PUBG, it wouldn't be wrong if they got it, because when it can't, it would be an unbelievable feat. It's a game in preview, took the world by storm, one of the highest selling games, fastest growing games. It did amazing things in like the last 6 months for a game that's just in game preview and being multiplayer, being I think the independent studio doing it, and it just for it to take off. Where I can see why it could win, but I know it would cause a lot of controversy, and people are going to get political with it, and where people are like, well, it's not done. It's not a real game. You can't give a game of the year without having reviews and stuff like that. So it's, in some facets, it doesn't deserve to be game of the year due to the fact that it's not a finished product and it's still in development, and we just have early access to it. I feel like Nintendo's earned it. I feel like with either Mario or Zelda, I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn deserves it for what it was able to do. But that's neither here or there. But all right, let's get some questions pumping out. I will allow in future episodes of this, if you guys enjoy this shit, to feel free and call me out on my bullshit. We can just like we'll call in, get you in a call in the future. But I am open for questions. No Planet Xbox tomorrow. It's we got families, we got to eat, we got to prepare. Some of us is traveling. I'm traveling, so hopefully you guys are playing video games or prepping for Thursday. What am I eating for dinner? I don't know. I go to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving because they cook the food that I can only eat once a year. Ribs, ham, potato salad, man. Man, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. They make the food that I can only eat once a year. My girl doesn't eat fucking meat. She doesn't eat like beef. She doesn't eat pork. And I think she just stopped eating fucking chicken. Like, so she's only really does like turkey and fish and shrimp. And so I got to eat what the fuck I can eat when I get over there, and then fucking take as much leftovers as possible so I can have enough to last me about a week, and then return to that shit that's keeping me skinny. So my most anticipated games from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo next year. I will have an anticipated Nintendo game if my girl gets me a Switch for Christmas. I don't know if I want a Switch or a PlayStation VR, honestly. My Sony game is Days Gone would be my most anticipated if it comes out in 2018. Otherwise, it'll be God of War. Xbox, honestly, whatever game they announce at next year's at E3 that is not Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, or State of Decay 2, because I don't have I'm interested in them to buy them and play through them and beat them, but I'm not interested in those titles enough for them to be like, I can't wait, I'm gonna fucking stay up till midnight to play this game. Nah, those aren't they weren't really on my list. I'm looking forward to Sea of Thieves, so I'm looking forward towards the finished product, because I think it's going to be interesting, but I don't know much more about it than the shit they keep showing. Crackdown, I don't know if there's anything they could do to repair their image, or repair the backlash or the negative perception they got of the game. I don't know how better they're going to make it look. State of Decay 2, I got to see more. So hopefully there's a surprise game that might take that crown for Xbox. Otherwise, I don't know of a 2018 Nintendo game that I think all their good shit came out already. You know, all the shits came out already. So I don't know. Probably nothing. Yeah, Hard8, I'm not using your name for view. Well, maybe just a little bit. I added your name because I did talk about the subject of you and Bond for that whole fucking shit that you guys were going through in regards to EA and Star Wars Battlefront 2. I thought it was a good subject. Oh, no, it's the Bond versus Hard8. I should have put point of view. Where do you stand in the EA shit? Do you buy it now that they fix the microtransaction issue? Or do you want them to do more before you jump on the bullshit? So, but don't worry, I got a ton of more of these. Your name ain't come up. I still got your name and like 2 more or 3 more playing Xbox, so I'm good. I got you under contract for another 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks. This is not clickbait. I talked about this stuff that's in the titles. I talked about being attracted to game characters. I talked about Hard8 versus Bond and the EA shit. and I'm talked about the SJW's impact on games. So I'm kind of being true to form, you know? So come on, like, I mean, I am now L proof. I'm actually exposed proof. I've been on a winning streak damn near the second half of the year, but they just haven't been recognized. Chloe Frazier, yeah, Chloe. But let's talk about something, right? The Xbox One X, man. You know what's crazy? I've been enjoying it so much that I haven't. I just feel like I don't know what I could say about it in an in-depth review. I still want to do one, but it's to the point. It's like what I realize when it comes to games that I like so much or a product that I like so much, I don't talk about it as much as I think I would, or I don't produce as much content, or like, for example, there's games that I love that I never did reviews for, like Sunset Overdrive, one of my favorite games. Didn't do a review for it. Rise Son of Rome, didn't do a review for it. I did reviews for games that I thought was cool, that I enjoyed, that I thought was average, that I probably won't pick back up again or stuff like that. But games that and stuff like I really was super engaged in, like Assassin's Creed, I could do a review for it, but I probably won't. I just want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it. You know? Somebody asked me about the most overrated games on each platform. The most overrated I'm gonna hurt some feelings. I feel like each platform definitely have overrated games. PlayStation has a lot of overrated games. And this is gonna bring me to the final subject, actually, because this is the book. I learned this year that all people play are games that are only available for the platform they actually prefer. Because I've never seen third-party games or multiplayer games get downplayed so much this year. Like, completely downplayed so much. It's like, shit, if you ain't got an exclusive tag, you don't matter. That's pretty much the tone that I got. Overrated games, like, for example, game's not bad, but the game's overrated. Uncharted 4, overrated. Completely overrated. Not bad. Not bad. And just because it's overrated doesn't mean it's horrible. Not bad at all, but overrated. What else game that came out that I can't speak on Persona. I wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. I think Bloodborne, extremely overrated. If Bloodborne's so overrated that if it was a multi-plat, no way it gets the praise that it gets. No way. No fucking way. No way. Bloodborne, there was nothing. It's classified as what, a faster Dark Souls. It didn't look good. It's probably one of the most ugliest games I've seen this gen on PlayStation. It has no real deep fucking story. It's just fucking generic, boring, dark, ashy. I can't stand it, but people love it. It's like a must-have game. I'm like, why are you lying to these fucking people? Because people are gonna get these games based off the recommended hype, and you're gonna be highly fucking disappointed. I had more fun with The Order than I have with Bloodborne. No, I didn't beat Bloodborne, and I don't give a shit. I don't plan to. Overrated games on Nintendo. I think every game that released on the Switch this year has been highly overrated. Not even just their exclusives. But you know why? You can know how you can tell games on the Switch have been overrated. Look at Doom. Doom, I think, on the Switch got higher reviews on the Switch, and it's current form than it did on PlayStation, Xbox, and they ran better. The Nintendo Switch version of Doom runs, I think, below 720p. It runs at 30 frames per second. It has lower than low settings, but yet, because it runs on a mobile device, it's a crowning achievement that, therefore, it makes it better than any other version available on the fucking market. I'm not going to say Zelda's overrated because the Zelda Horizon came out around the same time, and Zelda, even though much uglier than Horizon, was doing things Horizon wasn't doing, which was, I thought, was pretty cool. I think I want to play Mario. I can't say it's overrated. Some people are, from what I'm hearing, the users, the actual gamers, say it's good, it's okay. They're not like fucking like looking a boss off of it. Whereas I think the journalists are telling you it's the second coming of Christ. I had ARMS. I thought that sucked. Splatoon sucked. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's a port. All those was fucking overrated. Is Halo overrated? Well, which Halo? Not all Halos are created equally. I think Halo 3 is among the greatest Halos of all time. I think Halo 5 is the greatest Halo multiplayer of all time. Sure, I know Halo 2 revolutionized things, but people confuse nostalgia with like great. Halo 2 was great for when it released. Halo 3, phenomenal. Halo 4 was us to get a chance to see what Halo could look like better than what Bungie can do, because Bungie wasn't pushing out graphics. And Halo 5, I feel like, had the most balance, and I felt like they just did the best at what they could. It's the best way to modernize a Halo game. You know, it's like you don't want to aim down sights, but it's not required. But if you do, you can still get shot out of it. You know, you don't want to sprint, but it reduces your shield. It made the perfect balance, and I think that game's multiplayer is highly underrated and underappreciated for the things that they did, and nobody wants to give 343 credit. People don't want to give 343 credit because they miss Bungie, and then people don't want to give Halo credit because Xbox is because it's Xbox. So I feel like Halo 5 had the greatest multiplayer, but as far as being overrated, which Halo, I mean, I don't think all Halos are like all great. I mean, honestly, if I had to rank my Halos, it's going to looks much different than what your rank of Halos look like. So are you going to say, is Halo an overrated franchise? Maybe so. Maybe it's living in the past, you know? It has people, I mean, there's games that have, like Halo, it's its own, like, you know, universe, and is it the greatest franchise? Probably not. But I'm not going to say that I don't think the franchise is overrated, because I don't point to that franchise and say that's the greatest franchise ever. I have games in the catalog that I think are very, very good and above all, but you're saying that as if every Halo, it's crowned a crowning achievement. What Halo do you think is overrated? Halo 2. Not Halo 2. Halo 2 had the campaign was it. I thought Halo Combat Evolved was overrated. I didn't see what the fucking big deal was. And then Halo 2 was the shit, but come on, give me some shit. So shout out to Kofi for joining in and through the chat. Shout out to Hard8 for coming through the chat, even though he's trying to start some ruckus. Shout out to BG or Brooklyn Skill Tree for giving me the plug, making sure you guys came over after his. Let's go review. I can't. You know, this dude Tech17 says review my TV. I can't review my TV. You know who's going to come at me if I elected to review my TV? You know who I'm going to hear from? I would hear from the 4K ambassador himself, Hard8. I'm not even recommending TVs to anybody. Because here's the thing. Because this is what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna refer to the Planet Xbox episode where I was asking the Hard8, where did I go to activate my damn HDR because my Xbox One X wasn't recognizing it, and they'll just be like, expose. He cannot give you recommendations on TVs. I'll recommend a fucking monitor because I had quite a few 4K monitors, you know, and I've already tested my Xbox One X on a 4K monitor, but I'm not gonna review it. I don't know shit about this TV. I just know it's 4K, is one of the better 4K TVs and HDR TVs available, and my games look fucking good on it. And right now on Black Friday week, the Sony, this is the 900E. It's $999, 55 inch, which was previously $1,200 the week before. So if you want one, go get one. Uncharted is very overrated as a franchise. If you think about it, how many games in an Uncharted games, and how many of them will you claim game of the year? Uncharted, think about it, there's probably 2 over the top really good Uncharted games. Uncharted 2 is a crowning achievement, as they say, and Uncharted 4 very overrated, but it's a lot of people's either favorite or second favorite behind Uncharted 2. Gears has a basic story. I think Gears do what they can with a story without selling out. So, but you remember, Gears of War was initially made by a bunch of dude bros. He just called me? Yo, if you called me, my phone is probably dead. Oh yeah, he did call. Let's see what he got to say. Let's call 3MG. Let's call 3MG. My bad. Did I get a text?
Yo.
Hey, what's up?
Yo, when you shouted me out, bro?
Huh?
Yeah, you didn't shout me out.
Yeah, I did. You're on the phone.
Nah, man, I ain't getting shout out, man. I feel like a side chick. Yo.
All right, yo, we got 3MG on the phone.
Lit.
We got 3MG.
The chat is lit. I'm about to join that bitch.
You about to join the chat?
Back. That chat is lit.
Well.
Don't do that. Don't do Uncharted dirty like that, man. Please.
Don't. Oh, you got feelings for Uncharted?
Nah, Uncharted 4 is good, but I don't think Bloodborne's overrated though, bro. I think Uncharted is a little bit.
You don't think Bloodborne's over? What makes Bloodborne a crowning achievement over any other over games like?
Yeah, but
look, all right. I got a question for you. You got Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, and Neo. Is Bloodborne's your pick?
Say that last part again. You cut off.
I said Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, or Neo. Is Bloodborne your pick?
Oh, to be honest with you, Neo is definitely a fun experience, though. So, because I like Dark Souls, too. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like games like that, so it's kind of hard to choose. I would probably pick Neo, to be honest with you, but Bloodborne is very close to me. You know what? That game actually broke me in with those type of games. That's what made me go back to Dark Souls, to be honest with you.
Well, that game actually turned me away from those games, so I ain't touching none of them.
For real?
Yeah, it turned me away from it. I was like, if this is the type of games that people are be running to, those Souls type experience, they can have that shit.
No, you gotta fuck with it. Like, I mean, it depends though. Like, do you like Neo?
No, I don't like. I ran away from Neo for the simple fact that it was compared to Dark Souls and Bloodborne. And if you're compared to those games, I'm not touching you. I'm not fucking with you. I ain't fucking with the Surge. I ain't fucking with the other game that's coming out, Cold Vein or some shit like that. I'm not. No, they can have them shits.
That's fucked up, Smooth, but you fucking with Sea of Thieves. Come on, man.
Fucking with. See this.
You play Sea of Thieves?
Yes, I play Sea of Thieves. I'm in the alpha for Sea of Thieves. I play.
I was playing it too, yo. It's a big world with no treasure, bro. Come on, man. How we pirates with no treasure, dog?
Here's the thing. like I said, for me to hype Sea of Thieves the way I want to hype Sea of Thieves, I have to see more. Otherwise, I have nothing to say about it. However, do I think I would have a better time with Sea of Thieves versus a game like Bloodborne? Of course. I could get drunk and play Sea of Thieves. I can't get drunk and play Bloodborne. It's not going to fix my emotions or my enthusiasm for the game. It's just not going to happen.
That's fucked up, man. I mean, it's what I'm gonna be honest. You said that thing with Halo. I don't think any Halo was overrated though.
Halo is an overrated franchise, and it becomes an overrated franchise because of the expectations it now has to live up to. Halo 5, why is Halo 5 a bad game? Think about this. Because Halo as a franchise is over like that. Halo 5 is considered bad, and I don't know why.
The story was tight. The story was fucked up. I ain't gonna lie.
The story wasn't bad. That's the thing. The story wasn't bad. It just had nothing to do with the promotions.
How long were we waiting for Halo when 2013 released? Excuse me. When 2013 came, we got the consoles. Halo 5, I was super excited. That game legit was like one of those episodes on TV where they had that build up to the next episode. Like that story, it wasn't the worst story, but it legit left us like a build up. And I'm just like, damn, you couldn't add the character development in this game and add it in context into the story. It was legit like a build up, and we know that they're coming out with Halo 6 because of it. That's why I'm like, I wasn't really digging it. The multiplayer I had fun with, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, see, the thing is, it's like, I get it, but people look at that and be like, oh, the game was bad or the story was bad. And I don't think in any shape or form that the story was bad. Sure, was it like, not what they were advertising? Sure, you can say that, but I'm not going to be like, I didn't enjoy what I just didn't play, because I'm going to tell you this. Halo 5, the campaign, was one of the most action-packed Halo campaigns I've experienced in the mainline. With earlier Halos, there was always that long, drawn-out travel across a fucking map slowdown where just nothing's fucking going on. And I felt like that happened less and less in Halo 5, and I felt like they always tried to throw things at you, and that's what I could appreciate about the game. Now, the story, sure, here...
There was action in Halo 5. Don't get me wrong. Halo 5 had its action. But what was anticipated was we thought like the dude who played Luke Cage, I think was the character, right?
Yeah, Locke. Yeah.
So Locke, I'm thinking to myself there was gonna be some blowback to like the action. I thought there was gonna be some real all throughout the story, but legit, what we got from Master Chief, I'm just like, wait, this was more or less like a build up to where it's gonna be an even bigger story in the next one. And the reason why I find that to be a problem is because remember, this is the 5th or 6th Halo. This is legit the 5th or 6th, so we can't go back and have a story build up. We should have just continued with a big deep story anyways, and then continue on. It felt like a build up story. I wasn't feeling that, but if we had to really pick, I wouldn't say Halo 5 story is the best one out of my whole thing. I would have to say Halo 3. Halo 4 had a decent story. I wouldn't really put Halo 5 as my top best stories, man.
I think the best Halo story wasn't even in the Halo mainline. I think Halo Reach, and I felt like Halo 5 played more of a story of how a Halo Reach played versus mainline Master Chief. And I think what happened was that people's love and infatuation with Master Chief and the fact that you spent little time with him kind of hurt a lot of people's feelings. Somehow it didn't do that in Halo 2 where you spent a lot of time as the fucking Arbiter, but I have my reservations on just because Locke was black. He was a brother, and people wasn't really feeling that.
No, that's always good. Don't get me wrong, that's always good. That's why I was leaning towards that's why I love Kratos, because I don't care what the fuck he looks like in the game. To me, he's black, so I love that shit. Like we have like one of the strongest characters, like to me, because his voice actor, even though they switched him. But same thing with Locke. Like I'm cool with that, but I would have rather had Locke have a bigger personality in the game. I know the next Halo that comes out, he might have a bigger personality, of course. But my thing is, what was the Halo before Halo 5? Which was it?
Say that again?
What was the Halo before Halo 5?
Halo 4.
Halo 4. And how many years apart was that until we got Halo 5?
It was 3. It was 3 because Halo 4 came out in 20. What year Black Ops 2 came out?
Damn, Black Ops 2 came out shit like
2012 or 2011. 2012. They came out. I remember them coming out the same year. Halo 4 and Black Ops 2 came out the same year. So
okay. Yeah, 'cause one of my biggest things were, and another thing that affected me a little bit was the multiplayer, because remember traditional Halo, when we go way back, that's why I say Halo 2 had like some of the best multiplayer as how competitive that shit was.
Yeah.
But Halo 5 went kind of mainstream, went kind of like the other shooters out there, running and ADS and all that other shit.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. But it really, with Halo, I fell in love with the story. Even though you said Combat Evolved wasn't anything, that was one of like my first experiences on Xbox, the original. Yeah. So that story kind of like grew to me. So yeah, when I say Halo 5 to me didn't really have a good story, it's because of how attached I am to Master Chief. So when I see like how Master Chief is displayed in Halo 5, I'm like, damn, I wish. And plus, remember, we all assumed he died anyway.
Yeah.
So when we see him brought back, I'm over here like, wait. So how they even going to do, like, are they going to make this a big impact? And it really didn't impact me as much, the Halo 5 story. But I'm pretty sure Halo 6 is going to be, like they're probably going to really grow upon that story and probably build both characters up. Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel you to an extent. But I don't know if you want to call me on like a Google or a Skype. My phone is at 1%, and I know this shit about to shut off.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll get on it.
All right.
Give me like a minute or two. I'm turning on my computer though.
All right, cool.
Just DM me the link.
It's not no. You just called because I'm not even using like a Google Hangouts. Where do I call you from? You call me whatever you feel like calling me from, whether it be Discord, Skype, or Google. Your audio is going to be there. So.
You have me on Skype? You have me on Skype?
Yeah.
All right, I'll join you then.
All right.
Give me a minute.
All right. Let me get. Did you guys hear 3MG? It's clear he was coming off the speakers of my phone, which was dying. And not right now. He's gonna turn on his computer. I'll let him get him in a call, and after that we can get out of. We'll be able to get out of here. I know he had a lot to say about Halo. Damn, it's fucking hot. I got the heat on. You can see the sweat. This is why I wear hats, because I need an edge up. I think that's like sweat and dandruff. That's why the top of my head is like wider than like the rest of my head. It's freaking crazy. Where the hell is this dude at? Chase Money's online. Damn, what is he under? There we go. No, is that him? All right. There we go. We're gonna no answer. But I don't know when he's gonna get on. He'll probably call me. Go on. I've been on GMG before. I think me and BG was on the same episode. I think it was episode. Holy crap! I forgot what episode it was. But we've been on there. I should get Livewire on playing Xbox. Yeah, why do I hear Livewire's name so much? I hear about him, yeah, but it's always never on the greatest basis for some reason. But I'm always down to collab with people. But this dude 3MG need to hurry up, because I can feel it. My girl's getting upset. Like, I can hear her voice getting closer and closer. Ah, man. Any questions, though? I'm glad you guys are still here. What happened to our podcast? Active Messiah. What podcast are you referring to? I feel like I stopped and started so many podcasts. Are you talking about Let's Talk Games? Are you talking about Apples and Oranges? But I think I found something with Planet Xbox. And I might have found something with this, courtesy of BG and Kofi. Yeah, Let's Talk Games is dead, bro. Yeah, a Cuphead review with Gaming Addict is coming. That we'll do that after the Thanksgiving holiday, and we got Ricky right here. So let me get him for you guys. I'm gonna put my headphones on. Let's see. Ricky! Ah, come on, get off my cam. Yo! Let me see if he, Yo, you there? I don't hear you, bro. Turn your mic on. Or maybe I gotta change my speaker settings right quick. I'm doing all this shit, and it's probably about to tap out my internet. Audio settings. There we go. Microphone speakers. Let's go to. There he goes. We got you. I think we got you.
All right, cool. Yeah, I hear myself.
I just got to do one more thing to fix that. Oh, hold on. Shit.
Oh, shit.
If you guys got any questions for 3MG, go ahead and let him know. He's in here.
No, man, low key, man, you was hurting my heart. You was killing me, Smooth. I had to go. You was hurting me, man. Some of the stuff you said, I was like, no, he didn't. Then you said something about the woman gaming shit being pregnant. I said, yo, what is? I said, oh man.
Oh, go ahead, explain. You didn't like my stance on
No, because I was listening and then, like you kind of lost me. I was like, wait, what is he saying? So I was kind of confused. What were you talking about, the SJW thing? I didn't even know at that point what was going down.
I was saying like the topic came up because I was talking about SJWs and its impact on games and trying to satisfy groups, and how I can see we now have a lot of games where there's women protagonists like leading the forefront, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I can see a scenario where it expands beyond women and races and expand into shit like being you're not just a woman, you're a transgendered woman. Well, you're not just a male, you're a transgender.
So
male.
Wait, so the question was do we see more women or no?
Or your main character's gay and this is what you need to do and all this other shit. I feel like it leads to that. Now when I mentioned like the woman being a woman being pregnant in a video game and delivering a baby is the fact, because somebody said women games you could tell a better story with a woman than you can with a male, and I didn't understand how, but I'm like, well, let a game have where you are playing as a woman and realistic shit things as a woman happens that you have to control, like being pregnant. What about having a period? I mean, if you playing a game where the actions is going based off of the actions taking place over months, why not natural woman shit not happening?
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying.
Wait, so you can still hear me,
why
right?
Why not?
You can hear me though, right?
Not everybody may agree, but if you're gonna get deep enough to add some elements in the games that no one really should care about, why not get deep enough to add other elements that are practical, that are realistic?
All right, so are you able to hear me? You said?
You there?
Yeah, you hear me?
I think you there?
Yeah, you don't hear me?
Yeah, no, it was something wrong with my headset. My bad.
Oh, man. So I got what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's kind of unfair is that we're not talking about simulation video games, though, where we care much about the period and the pregnancy. Like that would only make sense if it was like on some, we're playing The Sims, right? But we got one of the most iconic characters of all time, which is Lara Croft.
Yeah.
You don't see her encounter these things in that kind of game, but The reason why I said I think with women characters they could be much better is only, in my opinion, because we don't have enough women characters that writers are able to write good stories.
You don't think?
No, because listen, hear me out. So my thing is, it's not that there probably is. There's a lot. You got Chun-Li, you got Shorty from Bayonetta, Sophatia. I mean, Princess Peach. I'm not gonna really count that. I don't really count that Shorty. On Laura Croft, you have a bunch of other characters. Well, no, I don't even count Cortana. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though she's big in Halo. You got Jade, you got Clementine, you got Ellie. The thing is,
you got Samus.
Yes, you do. Yeah, exactly. So this is my thing though. For years, we have gotten male character figures. I feel like at this point, if we don't have a good writer to write a unique story to back up this male character, then how unique does this character get? Because we've seen too many video games, almost all video games, that have male characters with similar traits. I'm saying as far as women go, there's enough room right now for a writer, only if the writer can make this character live up, right? Because we don't have too many women characters that take the forefront. Now, when you say transgender and everything, the only thing I'm going to agree with is that Ubisoft is terrible at just allowing a character to be their own preference or whatever. Like, for example, Watch Dogs 2. They had to make it clear as day that I think that person was like transgender or whatever. But then they also had to make it known on Twitter, make announcements, do interviews. Like, let that character be the character. If it's transgender, that's perfectly fine. If they're gay, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. I hate when they want to glorify that type of shit. That makes people not give a fuck about the character. Like, just like I love how Mortal Kombat X did it, because why? One of the characters in there, he was gay. And we actually found out by playing the story because of like something subliminal. But what I mean is, like, for women, I'm not going to sit here and say the whole period thing and pregnancy thing. Nah, it just really depends on writers. If there's a writer who can really kill the story, like look at Naughty Dog for Ellie. Like Ellie, for being 14 at that time, she was a badass. And for them to really strike that type of character on her, that's a badass move right there. So we all want, that's what makes us attached. So like, I'm excited for that game because
you don't think they could have. You don't think that so Ellie couldn't have? It wouldn't have worked for like a boy. I mean, what about Kratos? What about Kratos the son? I think he can have the same impact.
I absolutely think he could, and the reason why is because of how attached I am to Kratos. Same thing with Ellie. The thing is, I've never thought, oh, what if Ellie was a boy? Because of how good they made Ellie. Now, if Ellie was garbage, I would be asking myself, damn, all right, maybe what if she was a boy? What could have they done better? But how good was it to see a male father figure? You had a character behind his background where he had a thing with his daughter, right? She got killed in the beginning. This ain't no spoiler. If you haven't played the damn game, my bad. Yeah. And then they introduced a character like Ellie. She had her own issues and situations. You had something that was so big, which was about her vaccine, how she was immune to the virus. But then all of a sudden you see like the connection build throughout the story. And then you see how badass she is, where you would think Joel is going to be that guy doing everything. And no, she was actually kicking ass in that game. So I liked her character. Now, would it have been different if it was a boy? To be honest with you, I would have probably looked at it like, as a boy, because we're so used to seeing male dominance in video games.
Yeah, but you look at the dominance that why we're getting male dominance in video games. It's like, okay, look at these games these males are being portrayed in. We're talking about war. We're talking about heist, gang violence, all this shit. Like, so it's like these games were made in situations where you would find men at. Now, not that women are rarely in these cases, is that okay? Where you look at The Last of Us, that's what people get offended when I call it a zombie movie, but a zombie game. But all right,
there's no zombies in that game.
I know, but the monsters, whatever you call them, things,
clickers. I know what you mean.
All right, cool. It's fictional. It's not an ideal situation, so it fucking works. You know, war nowadays it couldn't happen in stuff taking place back in Vietnam days or World War II. You think about mob type video games based off like
mafia
and your GTAs and shit like that, or like games that are based on like detectives and cops. Sure, there's women cops and women detectives and whatnot, but you usually find those situations in males because one, their prevalence in the films we watch, their prevalence in the real world. I mean, I mean, unless there's like some stats that show, hey, there are more female cops or female detectives or more females get into this type of shit than males do or something like that. So that's why I feel like the games that we typically play, especially if it's involving a lot of action, gunplay, and all this other shit, it's fine. That's why games like Tomb Raider worked for like Lara Croft. You know, it's like, okay, this is treasure hunt. This is treasure hunt, adventure, exploration. This is not something anybody can do that. I can imagine a woman doing that, but I also can imagine a male doing it, like Drake in Uncharted. So it works both ways. But when it's games like, and I feel like games like Horizon Zero Dawn, do I see a guy doing that? Well, yeah, but it still works because it's a fictional type.
It's a fictional game,
type
but
shit. Yeah.
So all right. So I get what you're saying. You know what I think the bigger problem is, because I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I can, if any female was really to approach you on this, they would probably say, oh, you're sexist or some bullshit, right? Like, oh, you only want to see male dominance.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, somebody would look at that because of how you explain every situation. Like every time we talk about a female character, you put like, if a male was to do it, like I see that. I think the type of I don't know specifically the type of gamer you are, but I think you're more attached to, because a lot of us like to relate to characters, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm the same way, but I also like just characters who just develop this type of persona, which is like either badass or humble or just something crazy. That's why I do like Aloy. But
how do you like Aloy? Like, I don't like her. No.
Does?
Oh, what does she do?
No. So look, I like Aloy. But I don't think she's the biggest female. No, not at all. But I'm cool with her being a female. But that's only because the story made it possible for her to have like some sort of life to me. Like I was like, okay, Aloy was cool. Had it been like a male or whatnot, I would have probably still had the same feeling because I was more about the gameplay.
If it was a male, you would say it's Watch Dogs.
I would have.
I'm talking character wise, not Watch Dogs 2. But think about it. It's like I thought Aiden from Watch Dogs was dull as shit. Like personality was just like, what the fuck, man? Do something. Aloy's the same thing, but Aloy gets a pass.
No. I don't think she gets a pass. Think about it like this: that story was hot. Like you played. I'm sure you played the game, right? You played it.
Yeah.
The story background was fire, and what's impressive is it came from a studio that I didn't even think they can do that. Killzone. Like, I only liked Killzone 2. Shadowfall, okay, multiplayer was okay, but it made it so, like, when you see a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, and you play the story, and you just know, like, what happens in the game, that drew me into the game. Not every game I'm going to get that same feeling. Not every game I'm going to expect to be attached to some character because I do a lot of research on what this game might be about. So I'm like, oh, no, this ain't, like, a character-developed story. Like, I don't think Aloy had that crazy character development. No, I just think it worked. That's what I mean. Like, I like Aloy. It worked. You know what I'm saying? She's a female. It worked. And the fact that they had, like, DNA samples that created her from the woman who was there when it used to be Earth. Sorry. My bad. Spoiler. But that's what made the story so good. So even if it was a guy, it was the story that made it good. So I don't really count it as, a female or not. Now, when we go to a game like bringing back The Last of Us, I wasn't looking into the fact whether or not, because when I first played that shit back in 2013, I didn't really care for her, period. I just thought, like, all right, Joel is going to be that guy. I'm going to be doing this with Joel. I'm probably going to be having to save her ass a few times. And it turns out she played a big role to me. I think she was super important. And I think it's so dope because they left so much room to where we're getting the next one. And she's the one she's the main character. And the reason why that's good is, my bad, chat, for the spoiler. But the thing is, for Ellie herself, they made her character so much broader than what we all assumed. Now, when that DLC came out that she kissed that girl, I still haven't got any real explanation. When I played the DLC, I thought it was cool, but I didn't really understand that. But as far as just The Last of Us as a whole, a lot of people are really looking forward to playing as Ellie because it was so shocking to have that little ass girl as a badass. Like, she was just a badass. That's what drew a lot of people in. It ain't just because she's a 14-year-old. Nah, it was legit because she was a badass. And, like, you thought, like, damn, she's probably more of a badass than Joe. She was more brave than Joe. And that's what drew, like, a lot of us in. So I think it can work with female characters. It just really depends on the story. Like, some stories might be a force. It might be a force, man. Like, sometimes you be a force, you're like, transgender, like, there was no need for that. Like, that looked like a force. Or that didn't even make sense for the story, or they just threw the female in and they made her dress a certain way and it just didn't make sense. Like I see that happening a lot.
This is where I want to spoil Assassin's Creed.
Oh, Origins?
Yeah, right.
Yo, you might not be able to do that, man. Yo,
I don't want to. All right. It's like and the thing is, the crazy thing is, I love people. Even though I speak badly about Aloy and her dull ass, I did love Horizon Zero Dawn. I raved about it. I just said like 20 minutes ago, it deserves Game of the Year. I feel like one of the Nintendo games earned it, but I won't be shocked if PUBG gets it for what it was able to do.
I'm not shocked if PUBG gets it. I don't know why people are upset about that.
The thing is that what Assassin's Creed did to me, I felt like it was a bait and switch. I felt like I was robbed.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, not robbed of value game. I'm talking about the experience that I thought I was creating. I felt like, okay, you guys.
So hold on. So let me get this straight without spoiling it. Mm-hmm. So when you say you was robbed,
yeah,
were you expecting something and then you come to find out that it was something totally different and it was like a force? Did you think like something in that game they were just reaching on certain things? Because remember, we're talking about Ubisoft. I don't know if you guys in the chat really understand how much of a force Ubisoft be adding shit in the game for like on some like real shit, like some trendy shit. Like look at Aiden Pierce in Watch Dogs 1. All of a sudden, that game was a garbage, by the way. All of a sudden, Part 2 made out to be the only trendy-ass game where they had these young guys with the gadgets and they try to be cool and all this trendy shit that goes on in today's... Like, they're always trying to appeal to the trend, and I hate that shit. So, like, that's why when Ubisoft, I get so frustrated. So, with Assassin's Creed, they did that?
With Assassin's Creed, this is what I feel like. Did you play it?
Yeah, I played it.
You beat it?
No, not yet. No, I've been playing a lot of different shit.
You played, I feel like you play as Bayek, right? You know you're building Bayek up. You know you're on a mission. This shouldn't be a spoiler. You're on a mission to find and get revenge on the people that murdered your loved one of your loved ones, right?
Yep.
But in terms of that, you do have Bayek does have a wife, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like the way they implemented her, you know how Bayek, you could tell, you can hear, you can see it in him in every mission he's out for it. He's emotionally hurt that he lost someone. And he's the father of the person he lost his son, right?
Yeah.
The woman that he's with is the mom. You don't get not near none of that from the mom. No, but this is not what you find out about his son within the first 10 minutes of the game. Like that's the opening like sequence of what happened, and that's how you started thinking. So that if you haven't played it, I mean, you're gonna find that out in the first 10 minutes. That's not the end of the game. And you meet up with your wife in a game like shortly after like your first 3 missions. I think the third mission or something is to go meet up with her, right? But I felt like the whole time that you're playing as a game, because they made this thing more of a RPG. You're building up, you're trying to max this guy out to get him to where he needs to be to close out the fucking game. And I feel like how Ubisoft did the story, that I was robbed of that. I felt like as the character that you was playing with, I as a player was robbed of that, and I felt like you were not supposed to be playing as Bayek. I'll leave it there. I won't say anything. I feel like you were not supposed to be playing. I felt like I was baited and to get the climax that they really wanted.
I mean, shit, then we could say the same thing about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. We had a brother and sister who they praised in the background so much about the past of their father, right?
Yeah.
But at what point do we even see that bitch? And what point do we really get some connection with the brother and sister? So we play out the whole story, and you feel robbed because they brought in these two characters with the expectation of just learning about each other, which we didn't get nothing of. Then you also understand that in the story, your father is somewhat of something importance, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't get no context on him either. So yeah, like that. This is Ubisoft. Like this is the thing I have a problem with.
What happened?
But I know what you're talking about.
The way it just like, yo, man, why couldn't they just? If that was the case, make me just. Like why does this game?
I know. You know, I mean, if you review the game, then just announce spoilers and shit in the video so that whoever doesn't care about buying it can then watch the spoiler, because I know what you're talking about. I'm just trying to make sure like I don't spoil it. I mean, shit. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I like Assassin's Creed Origins, but Ubisoft gotta stop stealing mechanics from their other fucking games. Bro, I felt like I'm playing For Honor.
For Honor, yes.
No, like, and
I didn't like Watch Dogs, because Watch Dogs took a lot from Assassin's Creed, so I didn't like the movement of.
Bro, they take so much from each other. You know the Outlaw and Far Cry Primal.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed Origins. Yo, I'm just like, what the fuck? Am I playing Far Origins Assassin's Creed? Like, yo, this shit's killing me, yo. I feel like I'm playing the same shit.
And when that new Black Water, that boat game, that's going to be Black Flags just in the water full of time. Just to give you a heads up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man.
Yeah, I didn't like the combat in Assassin's Creed. It's to the point where I focus my ranking my player up so to the point where I can just get the shit done in like a couple hits. So I have to do all that bullshit parrying, and the way they want to put you in that For Honor stands. I couldn't stand For Honor. That was one game that I owned that I just completely deleted off my hard drive.
This is the thing. I actually enjoyed For Honor until that patch came around where certain characters like I forgot Shorty with the little spear, like the little knives and shit. You couldn't patch if you can't patch her. She's OP as hell, and then they brought in characters that was just clearly OP, and people was able to abuse the slight button smashing with that character. Yeah. So it kind of made the game unbalanced. That was one issue. Yeah. Assassin's Creed though, their combat system doesn't evolve. You just upgrade. You just constantly upgrade. You just add little tweaks. But that's all they have the same combat from the beginning to end. So, like, that's my biggest gripe with the game. Almost everything in an Assassin's Creed, everything in Ubisoft games, they add with each other. Now, this is so random, but that's why I love Rainbow Six so much, because, like, that shit, they're not adding shit from all these other games
where they going to borrow from, though? That's like the only, like...
You'd be surprised. I'm surprised they didn't steal the UI from Assassin's Creed. I'm surprised they didn't steal nothing from Far Cry's first-person aspect. Like, yo, you never know, because Ubisoft is doing that. They took Far Cry Primal shit and Far Cry just in general and added it to Assassin's Creed. Then all of a sudden you get Watch Dogs, which I'm just like, the character models. I mean, shit, let's keep it spade a spade. Does Ubisoft games allow you to jump? No. When the fuck? Are we going to evolve yet? Like, Smooth, have you ever noticed that?
I didn't realize that shit.
Bro, we don't jump, yo. We don't jump in Ubisoft games. It just doesn't happen. It's not realistic in a Ubisoft game. Like, that doesn't happen. But they're okay with. I mean, I didn't even want to stray off the topic. It's just like, but I get what you were saying originally from Assassin's Creed Origins. Yeah, it's just like, shit. I feel robbed too with a lot of different games, but But the thing is, Assassin's Creed Origins is not a terrible game though.
No, not in any light. It's one of my favorite. It's a toss up between. I enjoyed her. This is what I kept saying. I was criticized for saying this on a podcast on one episode of Weapon, where I said when they asked me. I think Hard8 asked me, why am I anticipating Assassin's Creed Origins? I was like, man, there's something about that game that reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I loved Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yo, you're going to have to explain that. I'm confused.
I can't. I'm
Wait,
not
Horizon Zero Dawn and Assassin's Creed Origins?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Now, I don't know what the similarities are, because I don't like Assassin's Creed. I haven't beaten an Assassin's Creed other than this one. Whoa. So I had no interest in Assassin's Creed prior to that. I tried Syndicate, I tried Unity, but that was a broken mess. Black Flags I never dived into like I wanted to, but it was just like, I don't like the Assassin's Creed engine. I don't like how the game mechanics work. I just don't like it. But when Origins premiered and I started seeing things that I appreciated or in Horizon, except that Assassin's Creed, you got a little bit more freedom and movement. Hold on, man. I need you to entertain. My cousin's calling me. Hold on.
I need to enter. What the fuck? What you want me to do? Yo, look, man. Did you get my text messages? Yo, look, man. Xbox One X, man. They got the best games.
The one I took today. Where
they got Xbox Live. They got Xbox Game Pass. They got the Windows Pro preview program. They got the best controllers. I think if they had controller of the year category, I think they would win because they came out every month with a new fucking controller. I think if they had like a service of the year category, they would fucking win because they got the fucking service. If Xbox had the most consoles created but not sold, they would win. That's a category. My bad, Smooth, yo. I'm killing it out here, yo. Hold on, let me think of another one. If we had a vote on the most cut-off services ever, Microsoft wins that too. Like, that's a category, bro. Because why? They cut off the Kinect too, bro. Shit happened. Yo, what else do we got, yo? Wait, Kid Smooth, you ready? You back? Yeah, he ain't back yet. Then we got to keep going. What's another one, yo? Oh, you know what? There was a category for the most backwards compatible games. They win that shit off rip. What's another category? I got to keep this chat going. If there was a category for the most requested new IPs that won't ever come, they win in that category. What's another category we got going? Yo, I think he is me. Sorry, Smooth. Yo. Oh, facts. The most studio to ever shut down other studios. Facts. Microsoft is winning. No, I think EA is winning, dog. Chill. Yo, let me see. If it was Microsoft services right now, we got to think of another one. Oh no. If it was for the most delayed games, Microsoft is winning that shit. We done got Crackdown announcements like ever since 1992 when I was born. What's another one, yo? Y'all got to help me out here. You got to help me out here. What's another one, y'all? Oh, if there was a category for the best deals, Microsoft winning because they basically giving you Phil Spencer with their Xboxes. Yo, you seen them deals? They're giving away a flat screen with an Xbox One with Phil Spencer's hair follicle for like $250. He's the number one dick suckers. Yo, Bond be killing me somewhere. He be on Weaponville, dog. He be at Poland. Yo, facts. He said number one dick suckers. Oh shit, he's about to finish? Hold on, let's talk about something good. Oh, a category for the most delusional fans that think they win MPDs. Microsoft is winning that. All right, hold on. Yo, so there's a lot of anticipation for the Xbox, man. I think there's a lot of shit that's coming out this year, yo. I mean, next year. I'm super excited for it, man. Is Smooth back? Smooth? No, he ain't back. Smooth? You ain't back yet? Oh, all right, cool. You still hear me? Yeah? All right, cool. You heard everything I said, though? I was really killing it out here. Nah? All right, I guess not. So, if there was a category for the most overhyped 2013 games announced, still 2017, I think. Smooth, you hear me? Microsoft is winning. Yo, Jack, what you doing? Chill, cuz. Yo, man, we out here trying to kill it, man. Hold on, yo. Microsoft got you know what? Microsoft wins the category of most kindest fucking people ever, dog. Phil Spencer's
what's up?
So a lot of great games is coming out next year. I believe Microsoft is really killing. Oh, you back, Smooth?
I'm back.
All right, cool, man. I was just telling the fans, like, Microsoft is coming out with some fire next year, dog. That's facts.
I'm not going to indulge into that conversation until after the announcements. It's just like I said, as long as if I hear anything newer than Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, and State of Decay 2, I'll be satisfied. But I think it's going to be a good year. It better be, because otherwise it's going to be a repeat. Because those 3 games need to be out before E3.
Yo, facts, man. Like, this is the thing. I think what really hurt Xbox was the cancellation of Scalebound. That was gonna be their biggest like Japanese RPG game. I was really hyped for that shit, but Microsoft couldn't pick that studio back up. Well, not the IP.
No, what they would. Microsoft was disrespected by those little short ass motherfuckers.
Hold on. Come on, yo, Smooth. I got the whole info on this.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so because I actually spoke to some people during E3 about this.
Okay.
So it was to be honest with you, this is how it really went, and I'm not gonna blame Phil Spencer and Xbox for this shit, but I will say that what Microsoft did and Phil Spencer did was he put a lot of those games that been delayed on such a high pedestal that it forced them to delay their games to go back into development. Cuphead was delayed like twice right after Phil Spencer announced how the game. Remember, he put Cuphead, State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, and Scalebound as like their biggest games. And he anticipated them to be like they were like these big budget games when some of them actually aren't big budget games. So that being said, all of those games back to back got delayed. Why? Because now they had a further development and further polish the game. So with Scalebound, they weren't meeting the deadlines because of the development cycle after being delayed, after having to go back in and add more content to the game. If you read all the articles and interviews, and after I spoke to a few people at E3, there was a lot of back and forth going on where Microsoft was actually helping them out, trying to, give them chances to like take more time in development, but it wasn't meeting up with them. And at the very end, Phil Spencer, to be real with you, is that game going to cater to the Japanese market, even though it's a JRPG? Not really. Why? Because Xbox doesn't sell well over there. So it was more of a strategic move on his end. It was more of like those moves, like a business move on his end, I should say, to where he's like, man, this game might sell in North America, in the US or in the UK, but it may not do numbers over there overseas in Japan. So he had parted ways. Remember, Epic Games is a Japanese studio. So he was just like, you know what? I figured I'd just part ways. But honestly, if you think about it, Phil Spencer put half of these games on such a high horse that they were all forced to like delay. So
if they was forced to delay, so you're telling me they were to begin with creating half-ass games? Because Phil Spencer put it on his pedestal, they was like, oh, now we got to make it a AAA because these were just going to be $30 AA games.
No. So this is the thing. So AAA is the meaning of AAA just means of budgeting. Mm-hmm. It's almost like saying when you do your taxes, you're in Wait, Platinum Games. I'm sorry. My bad, Ravenflow. Absolutely. You corrected me. Platinum Games. Excuse me. So the thing is, your AAA depends on the budget of the game.
Yeah.
So hold up. My bad. I have to correct myself. So my bad. I meant Platinum Games. Excuse me. But my thing is, these games, depending on what budget it is, makes it a AAA. Like Witcher 3 was definitely a AAA title because of the budget that it had.
Yeah.
So my thing is this. Phil Spencer, absolutely, and the thing that I don't think he meant to put those games on a pedestal that forces them to delay, but no, he wanted everybody to know, like, look, these are our games, and he was showing people, like, look, these are the games we're gonna bring out. But because those were the only games that they were bringing out, they didn't have no other big budget titles coming out. It made those studios look like, oh shit, we got to make sure we bring out these games because now we're literally the forefront. And what happened during that same conversation? Phil Spencer was like, Halo and Gears aren't going to be the forefront of this E3. And after that E3, what happened? Smooth, all those games. You don't think that's kind of coincidental? Like all those games got a delay. Smooth, think about it. Like the only thing that bothered me was out of all of them, like, damn, Crackdown I knew Crackdown was a big budget. Why did it need a delay? But then they said polishing. Then after speaking with some people part of Microsoft at E3, they confirmed the reason why Crackdown has been delayed so many times is because the original story wouldn't make sense for us to play multiplayer. Because if everything was destructible in that game, you could have just destroyed the whole world. There would be no story. That was literally. Do you remember when they said they literally said that to me? People of Microsoft who worked on that game told me that at E3, and I said, "Really? That was your reason?" And they had to come up with a whole new design for the multiplayer. That's why you don't see destruction in that game.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait. So, so the destruction itself, I thought that was the only base for multiplayer anyway.
Yes, but they was trying to add a co-op story to the multiplayer. Dude, I could give you that's the thing, like, Smooth, I could give you contacts for these people, man. Like, you deserve to speak to these dudes and have interviews with them like that. You need to bring that shit onto your channel. I know I got developer emails or whatever for Crackdown. And
I'll tell you this, though. Crackdown without the destruction mode looks like a generic, it looked like a fucking Agents of Mayhem.
And it sucks because we didn't even think, like, we should be saying the opposite. We should be saying Agents of Mayhem looks like Crackdown.
Yeah.
But look at how many times Crackdown has been downgraded. Like, when we first seen that trailer, when they were talking about, oh, we're using certain amount of Xbox Ones that allows for the destruction, they never really explained the story, the context of what the multiplayer is going to be like, and what's the overall objective for the multiplayer. After I spoke to some people, after I even got confirmation from other Xbox heads, other Xbox YouTubers that I met at E3, you was there, you was at E3.
Yeah.
I met a bunch of people, and every story was the same. The multiplayer, the premise of the multiplayer, the objective of the multiplayer wouldn't make sense, because if you was able to destroy everything, there wouldn't be an end goal to the game. That would be a pointless multiplayer, and it would just end up being like a Just Cause 3 of just nothing but destruction. And Just Cause 3's multiplayer, I don't know who says that shit is fire. It's a sandbox, but that shit gets boring. So imagine a game which everything is like there's a destruction amongst everything. So they had to go back, compromise, and try to think of a different plan. But that's killing them right now.
Yeah, now, I don't think everybody wants the destruction.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I was hyped for that shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think anybody was really before 2013 saying, yo, I can't wait for another Crackdown. But because I'm an owner of the Xbox as well, I was like, oh shit, all right, bet, I'm looking forward to it. But I don't think people was really beasted like, oh, I need Crackdown. That shit came out of nowhere in 2013 when they announced it. But yeah, fans want it now. I mean, I don't know if they do want it now, but that's just the reality of it. That what happened with that game. State of Decay 2, I believe they still wanted to polish the game. They still wanted to fix the game. But I think, like I said, with Phil Spencer putting all these games, and I think he was just showing like praise to the games, you know. I don't think his intentions were to put them under pressure to where they had a delay, you know.
And he can't fold under pressure. His job was to sell them, like, you know, to sell them, like, to get the hype up there, the break news headlines, the games that are coming out, and that and for that to be like, oh well, damn, we got to get this game out. Oh, like, I don't understand why that would be something to like, oh well, you made the expectations too high, so we have to like delay to meet those expectations. It's coming out. Well, I mean, how much expectations you need? Do you put? You're good enough to put a gameplay trailer or a demo together to show everybody? I mean, they didn't give you any more details than the basics, you know.
Well, to be honest with you, Garuda, he said an ugly game like crack. Well, he said Crackhead 3, but look, the thing is, originally Crackdown 3 didn't look that bad. Like, Crackdown didn't look bad at all when it was first announced. I was like, whoa, this shit looked fucking crazy. It was every time they came out with a delay, a year later or a few months later, 6 months later, they dropped a trailer, and we seen clear as day there was downgrades. Yeah. Do I mind that the game doesn't look graphically crazy? I was like, damn, I was joking on. I was like, man, that's terrible. But I thought the destruction was still there. Then all of a sudden they came out with another delay. When they dropped the next trailer, there was almost little to no destruction. So I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. And what's going to happen, Smooth, which is a sad reality of it, is going to end up being a cartoonish looking shooter. Very similar to Ages of Mayhem, just without all that little swerving, you know, flying shit that Ages of Mayhem have. And I don't think that's good, because people were anticipating the original format of Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
And with State of Decay 2, I heard they're really cooking up mechanics in that game to not make it play like the first one, because I played the first one. That shit, I don't know why. That's why I was questioning, like, people anticipating this. But then here, after talking to people at E3, they switched up the whole format of that survival game. So I'm like, all right, they might need to take more time now. But believe it or not, Phil Spencer, Xbox, doesn't have the same budget for IP. He just bought several IPs now, new studios, right, to create new IPs that aren't going to come out anytime soon. Maybe hopefully next year we get some announcements. But he killed so much of their budget, and it's not on purpose. It wasn't his fault, but it was to really bring back, you know, some sales to the Xbox. But they killed so much of their budget that Bill Gates and Microsoft had to give a specific budget to Xbox. You can look that up online. They had to give a specific budget to Xbox because Xbox, they lost so much money because of what they were doing. And I mean, and let me ask you something, Smooth. Mm-hmm. And this is real talk. Like, whether I know you're the best bot, whatever, but be honest. When it was 360 and PS3, you know who was dominating in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
360.
Yeah.
Towards the end, towards mid and end, we seen how popular PlayStation got. But do you know why 360 was the more dominant console? And I hate when people say, oh, yes, because it came out a year early. No, that's not the reason why. Do you know why Xbox 360 was the more dominant console? And if you don't know, that's perfectly fine. But I'm asking.
I'm just trying to think of just bringing myself back in time of me when I...
No, I know. It's been like a long-ass time.
No, I don't want to say it was the first one, because even when the PS3 and everything came out, it started even thriving more the year after. They had a lot of games that are multiplats now launched on that thing where they were only on the 360 and probably PC. Like, I think Mass Effect, BioShock, Lost Planet, Prey, I think they all debuted on the 360 before there was like a PlayStation irritation. But go ahead.
So this is like being real lit. Like, let's be like being real. This is exactly why 360 was thriving and was killing it and was the more dominant console, and why it doesn't surprise me when I see that now. And I think PS4 got lucky when it first came out because of their practice, their way of promoting actually worked for them. That's just, they were going bankrupt. All of a sudden the PS4 fucking helped them out. But this is why the 360 was end up dominant. They didn't have that many IPs. They had exclusivity deals with half of these multi-plat games that were on the come up. Call of Duty, they had all the tournaments, they had all the GBs, all the MLG tournaments was done on Xbox and Microsoft. They had the exclusivity deals on DLC. You had Battlefield, which also had an exclusivity deal with them. The sports games, 2K, Madden, and other sports games had exclusivity deals with Xbox. Xbox had the racing game exclusivity deals, well, which is Forza, of course. It's the same thing with GT Sport or Gran Turismo. But Xbox was legit the home of almost every competitive game. And then, of course, you had your Halo and your Gears. PlayStation forever had its own IPs. We've always had Japanese IPs for years. But the only thing was Microsoft didn't have that many exclusive IPs. They had exclusivity deals. Yeah. So they looked like they dominated in the aspect of in the beginning of sales and everything and more player base. But that's only because the exclusivity partnerships that they had and the ties that they had with everything competitive. That's why if you notice now, the reason why you don't see that kind of number, going around with Xbox One now is because half of those companies went to PlayStation. You've seen Call of Duty, 2K, Madden stays with Xbox, but that's because Xbox is paying them a hella amount of money for their contract. But you see all these companies and half of Xbox games are actually leaving their partnership ties, and they're either going to PlayStation or they're going multi-plat or neutral. That's just the reality of it. The thing that kills me is when people sit and say PlayStation, just because they got a few exclusives. Since the 90s, they've had nothing but exclusives. It's just the fact that Xbox 360 had just the dominance in just anything competitive. They were killing it out there. And when the 360 era came out, everybody was playing competitive gaming. Don't get me wrong. The single player games have always been a thing. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's why and I see you out there when you talk about MPDs and all that shit. But the reality is this. All those competitive motherfuckers that left Xbox, they're on PlayStation now because of what was going on. A lot of them transitioned. I'm sure Xbox One X is going to pick up, of course. But Xbox, and the reason why people are curious now, my reason for bringing this up is because people were like laughing and saying, and yeah, you're right. Most 360 gamers came from PS2. See how you see how that like transitions is crazy when you look back. But the reason why people are joking on Xbox not having exclusives, but that's always been a thing. The reason why nobody noticed it in 360 that they didn't have that many a wide library of exclusives was because they were killing the market with competitive. And they had all the partnership ties. Everybody wanted to play. They had the chat services, Xbox Live. They had better online. They had better audio quality with their party chat system. People was able to be on party chats while playing different games. So PlayStation was super behind with all that shit. They had all the lit shit on Xbox. But if you look at it now, Xbox kind of hit themselves in the corner because all those exclusive IPs that really didn't exist, now they're there. Now Phil Spencer's trying to acquire whatchamacallit, fucking new IPs. Yo, facts, Yoko. I need to take the meanest breath. But yeah, that was just the point I wanted to make.
It's a fair point. I mean, I completely agree. I was a PS2 gamer before going to 360.
Yeah, it's kind of weird too.
Yeah, so but I mean, it would. I mean, I've told that story many a time. But I do got to get out of here because it's late and I know my girl wants to get in this bed. And I gotta try to redeem myself. I lost 7 games in a row last night on live. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
I'm ready for that challenge. Shit.
I just bought it on PlayStation. It was on $15, so
I know you ain't ready.
I'm not losing.
What?
No, I'm not losing. I refuse to lose. But I do want to say shout out to 3MG for coming through. I didn't expect that. It was a lengthy episode, trying this out for the first time to get like a impromptu webisode, the BestBot theory, episode 1. Surprised I maintained at least like 80 of y'all for like the whole 2.5, almost 3 hours. So peace up.
Lit.
What's up?
Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button, man.
But I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate it, or if you don't, I hope you do have a great time doing whatever you're doing. And I'll see you guys next week or something like that. All right. So you guys have a wonderful night. But I'm out of here. 3MG, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, make sure y'all like that stream, man. Yo, we got to get this live popping, man. Bro,
right.
3v3, man. Let's get it.
Oh, you try and do that.
Yeah, man. One-on-one, bro. Whatever. But anyways, y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Yo, make sure you hit that like button for Kid Smooth, man. This podcast be fucking lit. Stop playing games, yo. We out.
Peace.
Smooth.